Hello there, this is Tamil, and before I talk about Sora AI, I really want you to watch this small clip from a YouTube essay that I found on Dune Book, and it talks about AI and why in the future AI has been actually banned in the Dune universe.
Science and technology is limited in Dune. There are giant spaceships and laser guns, but there are strictly no computers or robots or AI. Because thousands of years in the past, people did rely on thinking machines, but then some people used those machines to take over the world and enslave people, and it sucked. So then there was a religious crusade called the Butlerian Jihad that destroyed all the computers and banned them forever.
And that brings us to Sora AI, which is creating video from text. It has been made by a company that was working on the ChatGPT and was also working on the DALI 3. And here are some examples that you can see. There are still a little bit wonky, and you can tell that it's a little bit of AI because you can see how the book is flipping weird, and you can tell that some of the models and some of the textures are not perfect, except this video. And this video is where I got super concerned about AI, and to be completely honest, I'm an artist, and I used to want to be in the industry, and I really wanted to draw for a living, which I'll be honest, I kind of gave up on that idea of being in the industry because AI, and there's been a lot of discussion by different artists, and you should just keep going, and it's important. And this video is not really about job stuff. You can't tell anymore that this is AI. This is, I genuinely believed for half a second that most likely they filmed a video of a bird and they just uploaded it to this website. And I'm not joking right now. I am serious. I feel like they just uploaded a video of a bird that is just a bird, and they're just testing us. I just want to show you. This was 1 year ago for Will Smith eating spaghetti pasta. This was 1 year ago. And I feel like in 5 years, even three, I'll give it 3 years tops. I don't think it's gonna get any worse. It's gonna get only better, and then better, and then better, and then someone will figure out a way to use this as an open software. At the moment, this is a company that has restricted rules about what is allowed, what is not allowed, what have they access to, what is illegal, what is not illegal. All those things are there. But if you have this as an open source, pretty much game over, not just for creatives, in my opinion, because I thought, well, there's no way it's going to get really that good. And I feel like people still need concept art jobs. But the more I talk to people from abroad, especially in China and Korea, they're literally telling me we're being replaced. There's many times where someone is working on a concept for an anime girl or another gacha game, and they're forced to use AI images, and they just clean them up. So far that's a job. So far we have cleanup jobs, but at the same time, and the funny part is there's a video here, and this girl walking down the street has been copyrighted. I don't know how, I don't know why, but whenever I uploaded to YouTube talking about this for the first time, it just got claimed. An AI video that was made from stolen images has been claimed by someone else. At the same time, even if there are regulations for this, I think the biggest concern is that not everybody's going to have regulations. Not everybody's going to care, because US maybe has copyright laws. They don't have any copyright laws in China, from what I know. They don't care. They just use whatever they can use, and they just keep developing their their own AI. And then over here they have, and this one's crazy, and this one's the shot as if it's an old town. And if this was in the movie, I would have not noticed the difference. I would have been like, yeah, that looks like a old Western movie. And they are, if you look at their website, at the bottom there, saying safety. We'll be taking several important safety steps ahead of making Sora available in OpenAI products, and that's cool. I hope they do. But imagine this becomes open source, and pretty much anyone can replace anyone with any video. Anything can be forged. Any single video on the internet can be AI. And so far, there has not been a really good tool, even tool for texts that are like for ChatGPT, like people write essays for their school. A lot of those tools, they're not perfect. Like they will say this was written by AI when a person wrote it, and then when there's like full AI, they're like, no, this is fine. And I think this is the biggest concern, is not that AI is going to get better or widespread or it's gonna replace our jobs, which is a concern. But at the same time, we don't know what is AI anymore, because it will just get better and better and better, and there's no end to it. It's just gonna keep on going, and we don't have a way to identify it in any possible way. There's no infrastructure for that. Funny enough, I know a lot of people in tech, they've been talking about this, and they are like saying, but we also have, I know this is a touchy subject, but they have NFTs, which were literally designed to be like, this is my image, I made this, and there's a blockchain on the internet that will connect it to my profile, and I made it. This is my art, and I own it. And I know there's been a lot of stealing in NFT and all of that, but imagine if you did connect that technology with AI, and like saying, if you made something, not AI, you put it on the blockchain, that is yours. It will forever be going back to your profile because you can trace everything in NFT. And a lot of people were suggesting that, which is like really cool. We just don't really have a strict kind of system to verify every single image, which is really sad. But that was a cool idea. But now that the videos are getting claimed, I mean, there's not a single way I'm thinking about this and looking at this if this is like a good thing. And at the same time, if you really think about it, the technology, what usually happens is with technologies, you have a problem that you don't want to do. For example, you don't want to wash dishes, which is fine. Like, I hate washing dishes. It's the most boring thing ever. And then you have a dishwasher. Someone comes up with a dishwasher that you can, beep boop boop, and all the dishes are done, and it's awesome. It doesn't replace any jobs. It gives more jobs to people, like to fix dishwashers, and it gives more electricity bills and water bills, and you save time, right? And that's awesome. But when you have stuff like this that comes out, I don't really see like a benefit to society. Like, I see a benefit to corporate and companies and whoever is profiting off of this, or whoever wants to use this in propaganda, or imagine any single person can make something realistic, a realistic video of anything at any moment. And imagine how can that be used for elections, or suing someone, or trials. Anything you can possibly think of can be forged in like 3-5 years probably. And I don't think anybody benefits from this, really. Like, it's a cool thing, it's a cool toy if you just don't touch it. But at the same time, like, it's gonna get scary, and it's gonna get worse. And I have been really trying to think about what to do with that information, and I spent an entire day just sitting and thinking on the Saturday, like a couple days ago, when I saw this. And I don't think there's any good idea. And one of the things that also I argue with people all the time, I was arguing with one of my family members, I was arguing with one of the people on the internet, I was arguing with a couple of people on just like randomly mentioning this, and they always say, oh, well, just, it's going to replace jobs, but it's going to give you more jobs because it's like technology and stuff. And I'm like, cool, but you were drawing your entire life, right? Or you making videos your entire life. And now you're forced to learn AI and how to work with AI, and you're basically changing fields. That's one thing. Next thing is, if any single person that's what happened with Uber and Lyft. Is if every single person can become a taxi driver, then nobody will be making enough money to survive of that career or of that profession. And a lot of people say like, well, that doesn't matter. I'm like, I think it does. I think it does matter. There's a point to which a specific job should be enough to survive. And a super simple example that I always bring up with people is like, do you like coffee? And do you want your kids to be educated? And at the moment, baristas, I don't know how about in other cities, right? I know it's not like this everywhere, but in Los Angeles, even if you have a roommate, even if you work full time, and you live in like a really, 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 really cheap apartment, and you work as a regular barista, not a manager, not like an elevated position, just a regular barista, you do not make enough money to survive or live comfortably. Like, you have to have a backup or a side hustle, or you have to have savings, or you have to have support from your parents. At the moment, I'm working at a restaurant and I'm making about $24 an hour. I'm mostly full time, and I pay rent that is half of regular rent because I live with my parents and I'm really trying to like support them. And I'm still not making enough to like comfortably live. Like, I won't be able to afford a car. I won't be able to afford healthcare. I don't have anything to live, basically. Like, I'm getting by, but if any, like, both of my parents just kind of gone or whatever, there's no like backup. There's just, I will have to have like two full-time jobs. And that's like, I think that's what's gonna happen with pretty much most of the industries. And I just don't think that's like a very viable, cool solution to be like, oh, you should just switch to like real estate or like become a lawyer, which is like cool and all, but like, what if I don't want to be a lawyer? What if I don't want to like be in the industry that sucks money out of people? And a lot of people say like, oh, go do like insurance or whatever. I'm like, cool, but that's not a cool industry. Not as in cool as in I want to have fun, but not cool as in I've never been a fan of insurance because they overcharge you and then they don't give you money when you actually need it or something happens to you. Like, it's a scam industry in a way. And a lot of people are basically just telling you go from one okay field to a more greedy field and try to make money there. And I just don't feel like that's like a thing that I want to do, but also I think people who, like, let's say teachers, again going back to coffee and teachers are like, it's very important for kids to know stuff, to know how to read, how to write. And right now there's like an epidemic of people not being able to read or write by like fifth grade. I have spoken to some teachers and like, it's really bad out there. And the teachers making less and less and less money, inflation is going up. And at which point are we going to stop to stop and think about like, is this the right direction we're going at? And that's an important industry. And at the same time, like, I get if it's an industry that is not like, it's a luxury industry, let's say tattooing, that's a luxury industry. It's not a necessity to survive to make tattoos, right? It's a cool industry, and I think it should thrive, and should everyone, make enough money to survive of that. But at the same time, compared to, you know, being a videographer, I feel like that's an important thing. Not for movies specifically, but documentaries, history, weddings, people just filming anything is important in life. It's not life depending, but I feel like everything that we do on this planet could be filmed in a beautiful way and shared around the world and inspire people. And that's what I am super upset about. The last thing I'll say is, we're giving fun, important jobs to AI. We're giving cool stuff to AI to do, but we don't work on stuff we don't want to do. And going back to the washer idea is, have you tried to change your passport, like refilled before your trip? Have you tried to get a license renewed for DMV? Why has that not been automated? Why is that has not been replaced by quote unquote AI? It could be. We don't really need people sitting down and telling, oh, you should fill out this form. I think it could be a chat GPT. Hey, I want to renew my license. Here's my information. Here's what I'm missing. How can I get that information? Like, give it to me. Like, that could be replaced. But no, we have a bunch of people sitting in offices and telling us, like, oh, you didn't fill out form 56 FB. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go do that. But at the same time, we're taking away jobs from people who paint, people who make movies. And it's just, I don't understand life anymore. And I really needed to make this video just talking about it, and I hope it makes sense and it didn't feel like I'm going insane, because I am going insane. So, it's a cute cat, but it's an AI cat. It's not real. Yep.